Hey, it is Dr. Sam or Shelly, whichever you want to call me, with Pixie Packing Travel Company. Welcome back, and today I'm talking about the Run Disney 5K races. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. Thanks so much. It's a new channel. And I do have Run Disney content on here. I also post my room tours and like ride point of views. So you'll see a blend of things on here. But if you want more Run Disney content, there is more to see on here and on my blog, pixiepacking.com. And I'll put a link to that at the bottom. But if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe so the channel can grow. As you can see, it's a new channel and we're just getting this content. I'm just getting this content out there. But today I want to talk about a really fun set of races called the 5K races with Run Disney. The 5Ks are so much fun because they're so family friendly. They're short. So how long is a 5K? Well, it is 3.1 miles. And that is doable for a lot of people. It's a great place to start. I'm a doctor, functional medicine doctor, nutritionist. I've done sports nutrition. So I've worked a lot with people that are just starting out their exercise programs. And a 5K is a great place to start because it's just 3.1 miles. The 5Ks are just for fun. They're family friendly, so anybody 5 or older with a parent can run. They don't allow strollers or like baby carriers or anything like that, so your baby obviously can't be with you, but they're family friendly for 5 and older and not time. They run through different course maps. I'm going to put some of the course maps on here. So if you're doing a Walt Disney World 5K, most of them tend to start in the Epcot parking lot, and then they go through Future World, now called the neighborhoods, future neighborhoods. I don't remember what they're calling them now. And then you go through World Showcases, which is where all the countries are in Epcot. So it's really fun because you get to walk around the lake. I mean, run or walk around the lake. And that's another point, since they're not timed, you can walk your 5K Run Disney race. And you get to see a lot of the different country pavilions, and there'll be Powerade and water along the race course and probably some bathrooms set up. So you can stop if you need to. And there'll be usually with the 5K 4 to 6 characters that you can stop and take your picture with. Might be 3 to 4 characters, but I'll put that down below. So you can stop and you don't have to feel rushed, and you can stop and take your pictures with characters along the way where all the countries are in Epcot. So it's a really pretty race. I did the half marathon one year, like my first race with Run Disney, and that, was it my first race? I don't know, but that I tend to do the longer races, and I haven't done the 5K, but I'm really excited to after doing the research for this video, because we just ran through part of Epcot, just kind of over, through the old Future World partly, and then through Mexico. And a kind of around backstage, but you didn't really get to run around the whole World Showcase. So I'm really excited to do a 5K. And I know a lot of you out there, maybe not the people watching this channel because you might be new to Run Disney, but a lot of the people out there do the challenges where you do all the races. So that's fun because you get to see everything. But anyway, the 5Ks usually go around Epcot. And then in Disneyland, they have welcomed races back again, which I'm very excited. We will be there for race weekend. I hope you'll be there too in 2024. I think it's the weekend, well, I know it's the weekend of like the 13th, 14th in January. And the Walt Disney World race weekend is the weekend before that. Their marathon race weekend where they have 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon, and then the challenges that combine those. So the Disneyland race, Disneyland's smaller, more compressed, very magical. I love Disneyland. And you start usually at Disneyland Hotel, and then, I'll show some screenshots of the course map. They don't really have it set, but it'll be the old course map if I can find it. So you get to see both the parks there. So it's awesome because they're so close together. And sometimes the Walt Disney World races will vary it up, like in 2022 during Springtime Surprise, which is where they have they don't tell you ahead of time what their theme's going to be necessarily. And it's a lot of fun, different races. So their 5K was Everest in 2022. And you did get to run through part of Animal Kingdom. But most of the time they'll go through Epcot. But, you know, it's super fun if you get to go on one of the other ones. And Springtime Surprise is not as busy usually as far as registering ahead of time. I have a whole video on registering. It's complicated. It's always got to be complicated for some reason. But Springtime Surprise usually has some openings, not last minute, but past that initial date. You don't have to wait in this long line online to try to hope that you get in. It's a bit easier to get into, and they can vary up the course sometimes, so that's great. Let's go over some policies. I already talked about some of them with the benefits being not timed, and kids can be a part of it. You and your costumes. I have a whole video on costumes and a whole blog on pixiepacking.com on costumes. And it's really fun if you check out the blog, because you have the direct links there to check out all the inspiration that you could want. Probably not, but lots of inspiration for Run Disney. Anyway, the costumes need to be family friendly. So no pointy things, no weapons, obviously, no masks. No sharp objects, I already said that, and then not dragging on the ground. So you don't want anything dragging on the ground, capes, long dresses, they've got to be shorter. Who wants to run in that anyway? But with the 5K, you have a little bit more, sorry, my dogs are arguing with each other about looking outside the window. But with the 5K, you have the ability to dress a little bit more, you know, it's not as long of a race. So you could have a more elaborate costume because it's a short race and you're not going to have to, you know, go a full marathon in that outfit. But do make sure your costume is comfortable and that you've practiced running in it. Maybe you want to practice at home running in it on a treadmill or something like that, but make sure you have worn it and you will be comfortable wearing it for that long. In Florida, you know, it's in January, the race, but you can start out being a little bit cold in the morning and then shedding, and you're allowed to shed, you know, some giveaway clothes. A lot of people go to thrift shops and have a hoodie and then they'll put it to the side. Disney will donate all of that. Or I just tied mine around my waist because I'm not really picky about how I run. But definitely have a layer with you, but know that it's Florida and it might get really hot even in January later. So if you have a really hot costume that's too constricting, just kind of have a costume that can be prepared for all kinds of weather, maybe with a layer on it if you need it. What else was I going to say on that? Oh, with practicing and training for Run Disney, I have a whole video on training that I will link here above, and you can check that out. I also have a whole video on nutrition and having your nutrition plan ready for while you're training for Run Disney. Now, your training plan is not going to be as long with the 5K. It'll probably be, you know, you could probably get your training done couch to 5K in like 6 to 8 weeks. But the Jeff Galloway training plan, which is one I love to follow, that has the race or the run walk recommendations, it's all on Run Disney. He likes you to start out like 16 to 18 weeks ahead of time. You can go pretty much anywhere in between there depending on your fitness level, but do start training ahead of time and do train outside so that you probably where you're, like I live in Colorado, so if I train, you know, on the months coming up to January outside, I'm going to be freezing, which I do, but it's not going to be the same weather that Florida is going to have. So know that. So maybe do some training in the summer, and just kind of know what it's like, or, you know, be prepared. Maybe do a practice run in Florida if you can, just to get used to that heat. California is a little cooler. I'm excited about that for my first cooler Run Disney race. It will be, you know, maybe very similar to Colorado in January. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. Not in January. It's not going to be snowing or risk of snowing. In the mountains it would be, but not in Anaheim. So it'll probably be in the 50s, 60s, something like that. So it'll be nice. And I won't have to have that big of a change in my weather when I'm ready for that. But just be consistent with your training, train outside some of the time so you're used to running outside with bumps and nature and all of that. And follow a good nutrition plan. So a good nutrition plan, I've talked about in my other videos. I have a month free of nutrition planning. I am a dietitian and doctor. That I've set up specifically for shorter races or longer races for Run Disney. And you can have some, I don't know if it's a full free month, but you get a certain amount of free time on it. And then I think it's super cheap for a whole month if you really like the recipes and the meal planning and all of that in there. So that's kind of built in, and you can really start your nutrition from there, knowing your macros and your fiber and all that. But definitely plan for your 5K if you have not exercised recently or you haven't, done any kind of fitness, go over it with your doctor. Do at least 6 to 8 weeks of training, if not longer, and consider your nutrition and your hydration. But check out my other videos on that. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the 5K. It's super fun. Check out my blog for more information. Check out my other videos. It was so great to see everyone. And I can't see you, but thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next time. Be kind to yourself and be kind to the world around you.